Go over some functions here. So just a really simple function to start. So we start all functions with this keyword func. Then the name of the function, that open and close parentheses is for a parameter list. And I'm just going to print the cult classic hello world. And say hello. This is how we call the function. So what's the difference between a function and a method? Remember, it's just that a function exists on its own and a method exists is defined inside of a class definition or implementation there. So that's it. That's a basic say hello function. We can run it in our sandbox down here at the play button or here. And I'm going to say, now I'm going to add a parameter to this. So I'll just say the name of the person we're greeting here. And this is the syntax one. We can have a comma separated list of as many parameters as we want. This is the label, or other languages we know it as the variable name or parameter name. And it's followed by colon and the type of the parameter. And when we call it, then we need to call it with the label. So there we go. So function, say hello is the name of the function. Here's our parameter. And we're just using string interpolation inside the function to output that. And when we call it, this is a little different than some of the languages we use. When we call the function in our argument list, we need to specify the label as well. In Xcode, it's got this real nice debug feature. If we leave the label out, it knows it's not calling this function because we're trying to put an argument in there. So it knows we're trying to call this method, and it's just going to prompt us. And sometimes in our debug in Xcode, it gives us a fix. So check this out. If we click on the fix button, it adds a label for us. Pretty nice. Too easy. Too easy. Okay. If you don't like those labels, I'm just going to specify. If you don't like those labels, we can actually omit them from the argument list with this underscore. I'm just going to put high so we can see it's a different function that's being called. So prefix the label with a underscore space, and now we can call it without the label. So here we have the label, and here we don't. So notice it does change the function signature as well. In this case, we're calling the function that outputs hi. In this case, we're calling the function that outputs hello. Okay, what if we want to make it part of a class? Well, now we're going to change it to method. So let's create a class, and could it be easier? We just say class, and the name of the class, and we define the body with the open and close curly brace. And let's add a say hello here. So if you remember, we can't call a method just like we did before. It's kind of a standalone call. This time we need to actually create an instance of the greeter class, or we can also say an object of type greeter. So I'm going to create the class. We're going to create the object. And then from the Mary object, we can call say hello. Sorry. And now we have a method call. What if we had multiple arguments we wanted to add? We could add greeting as well. Oh, I put a comment in instead of colon. Okay, so now we're calling this method with 2 arguments. Okay. How about a function with a return value? So the syntax is slightly different than some of the languages we've probably been using. So this one I'm going to create I keep doing that, sorry. colon, and then the data type. Okay, so in this one I'm going to take 2 parameters, a width and a length, and I'm just going to multiply those together and return an area value. So in order to return a value, we need some way to return a value. You might be familiar with putting a data type between the keyword function and the name of the function. In Swift, instead we have an arrow, so the dash greater than sign, and then the data type, which comes between the parameter list and the method implementation here. So inside here, I'm just going to say return width times length. So let's call it now. So I'm going to send this get area return value into a print function so that we can see it output the value. Okay, so here we have our function, keyword func, the name of the function, our parameter list, and then we're specifying that it returns an integer value. And this is where we do the actual returning of the value. Here's the method, or the function call with the 2 arguments, width and length, and we print the value. So just some simple functions and a method there. If you want some more advanced functions, let me know. If you need to see some more advanced functions, let me know. Otherwise, just try out as many examples as you can as you go through the work this week. And let me know if you have any questions.